Coming up on Mountain News at 6, school districts nationwide are continuing to deal with teacher shortages, what some here in the mountains are trying to do about it. Plus, one renewable energy company is now opening offices in downtown Hazard with plans of making a region-wide impact.
Plus, we are trying to end the work week, but that next rainmaker is looming. Your first alert forecast coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
School districts across the state are struggling with teacher retention and filling positions. WYMT's RJ Johnson spoke with the Letcher County School Superintendent on how she hopes this issue will be addressed.
For Letcher County schools, shortages in teaching is not something new.
We have suffered staff shortages over the past 5 years, more so than in my history, and I've been in education for 30 years, so it's gotten worse year after year, and particularly after COVID.
Superintendent Denise Yount says the biggest impact of the shortages is on the students.
I think classroom teachers, the shortage of experienced or qualified classroom teachers is detrimental to our students, and not having enough of a pool of candidates to choose from is difficult.
She says they're looking at ways to create teachers of their own, inspiring current students about a career in education.
We're definitely in a grow your own kind of mindset. So we need to work with our students that we have now, our high school students or even students younger than that, to help them look at careers in education. We do a lot of work around careers and post-secondary readiness for our students, and so we want to build in more opportunities for them to work in the education field.
Yount says she wants to see more things done about this issue on all levels.
I hope to see a lot of work on the national level, on a state level, and then locally. We need to make some changes nationally to get more teachers into education, to get more employees, and then particularly at the state and local level, there's things that we can do.
Saying it will take several forces working together to help increase the number of teachers. In Letcher County, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
Yount says they are also struggling with shortages for bus drivers, cafeteria workers, and janitorial roles. A Somerset man is facing several charges stemming from an incident that happened back in August. Yesterday, deputies responded to North Hart Road in Somerset. Through an investigation, deputies learned 39-year-old Christopher Shepard worked at Lakeside Memorial Gardens. An excavator and a Gator UTV was stolen from the property there in August. Shepard was taken into custody and booked in the Pulaski County Detention Center. A Central Kentucky man was arrested in Laurel County and is facing multiple charges. The arrest occurred yesterday around 5 p.m. in a business parking lot about 10 miles from London. 40-year-old Anthony Schumacher of Nicholasville was driving a motorcycle when deputies with the sheriff's office noticed it did not have a license plate on it. After pulling him over, deputies discovered Schumacher had suspected meth on him, as well as a glass meth pipe with residue. A Corbin man is behind bars after he was found hiding in someone else's basement. The incident happened back on November 25th. Corbin PD received a call from a concerned homeowner reporting a prowler looking into vehicles. After a police officer conducted a home search, he found 42-year-old Charles Durham hiding in the basement. Durham was charged with third-degree burglary. He's being held in the Whitley County Detention Center.
We are tracking some calm conditions across the region into your Thursday evening. Here's a live look at the radar, and as you can see, a clean sweep continues into this evening, also tonight, as high pressure also sits off to the south. So we are tracking some more dry weather overnight, also on Friday. But again, that bigger weather system is on the way as we get into this weekend. Some more rain chances, also more breezy weather on tap by Saturday, also on Sunday. As the sun sets, those temperatures are beginning to fall into the upper 40s and lower 50s, down to 51 for Jackson, 47 for Manchester, and 48 over in Williamsburg at this hour. And as you wake up on Friday, once again, we are cool. Temperatures back in the upper 30s and lower 40s, but a nice rebound is on the way as we get into your Friday. Here's a live look from downtown Hazard as Christmas in a small town kicks off on this Thursday. And Steve, I heard you were an avid ice skater. If you want to ice skate, the better chance to do so is Thursday and Friday because the weekend is looking a little bit soggy. Those details coming up in just a few minutes.
Yeah, you heard wrong there, Cameron. I've actually never been ice skating, been roller skating, and that was a long time ago. Well, hundreds of jobs could be created in the coming years thanks to a new renewable energy company. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox tells us about the company's mission in eastern Kentucky.
We are simply delighted to be in Hazard, Kentucky, folks.
Inland Renewables is now open in downtown Hazard.
They wanted a place on Main Street, and we're thrilled to have them here. Eventually, there'll be several employees, and we just look so forward to what they're going to do and what they're going to bring to East Kentucky.
It is a plan to transform what was once an energy powerhouse into an up-and-coming producer.
We're an early pioneer of the notion that you could repurpose a coal mine site into a solar renewable energy array.
Construction has already started on some sites in eastern Kentucky.
We have not only the project in Martin County that is currently under construction, but we're working to advance 2 other projects here in the area.
How they do that is with the help of eastern Kentuckians themselves. Inland says they plan to hire workers within the region.
Well, we want to leave the communities where we develop better off. And I can't think of a better place to do that than in the part of the country that literally powered the industrial development of America for 100 years.
They look to partner with Hazard Community and Technical College to train students.
We're going to assist them in developing a curriculum that we will carry out and train up those that want to apply for these positions.
Miller says they have existing programs they can utilize, but plan to customize to what is needed. In Hazard, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Inland Renewables has projects spanning more than a dozen states and worth the potential private capital investment of $3 billion. Winter illnesses like flu, COVID, and RSV are spreading in Kentucky. Officials at UK Healthcare say they are seeing a sharp increase in respiratory illnesses, especially cases of RSV. Right now, 21 patients are hospitalized with RSV, and that number is increasing. Doctors say they are also dealing with a shortage to treat the illness.
The manufacturer does not have enough supply nationally, so we are seeing shortages of that product. It's really designed for younger kids, the first RSV season, to try to protect them.
Doctors remind parents to make sure your children are washing their hands and keep them home if they are sick to help stop the spread of illnesses. As winter approaches, it's common to deal with pesky congestion, and when you go to the pharmacy for medicine, it's important you know what is the most effective. Phenylephrine, the main drug in over-the-counter decongestants, was recently reviewed by a FDA advisory committee. They found its recommended dosage is not effective. But what is proven effective, pharmacist Clarence Sullivan says, is decongestants with the ingredient pseudoephedrine.
Now, pseudoephedrine is a drug that is kept behind the counter, that you have to get a driver's license and so forth, and it goes through a state system, in fact, which says, yes, you can get this, or no, you can't, based on how much you have gotten in the last 30 days, 90 days, or 1 year.
Even though the two drugs look the same, Sullivan says they are very different. He adds if someone comes into his pharmacy with congestion, he recommends ones with pseudoephedrine. North Point Academy in Pike County is pointing folks to its gym basement, where a new thrift store hopes to bring in more funds to help students have a year to remember. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more from some of the students minding the mission.
A thrift store organized and operated by a class full of students.
We've came so far from it being such a big mess in here, and now it looks like this.
The Jobs for America's Graduates program at North Point Academy created a space on campus to give back to the community.
It gives me very many opportunities. When you go into a job, you can put it on your resume. You can do very many different things with that. And here I feel like we're helping people, especially with Christmas things. Not a lot of people can afford to do, you know, a big Christmas.
With every sale raising money for the school.
It gives back to us. You know, it lets us do fun things that other schools do.
Students run the store's operations, building their resumes and getting a taste of reality.
In a traditional classroom setting, you're sitting there, you're doing book work, you know, but here you're kind of more hands-on. You're doing stuff, you're working together as a team. there's a lot of behind the scenes of the store, you know.
Allowing them to discover their strengths and find where they fit in the process, from stocking and sales to staging the shelves.
A lot of stuff was donated and I took it and turned it into everything you see, basically.
Doing it all firsthand.
It gives me opportunities
to offer secondhand finds. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The store will be open Fridays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., starting with a Christmas sale tomorrow. The program has a partnership with United Helping Hands, which once operated out of the same space behind North Point Academy.
Well, we are tracking some 60s to kick off this weekend, but we could see some snowflakes by late Sunday, also early Monday. Your forecast coming up. Plus,
we take a look at another Ralph Gabbard Scholarship Award winner, this time out of the 14th region.